What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me. If you're not subscribed, hit that button. If you're already subscribed, you're awesome. Thanks for coming back. And in today's video, doing another thing on the truck, and if you notice it's backwards from the last video if you've watched that video, but we just got this little simple mod to do. Not even a mod, this simple fix. Hopefully simple. I'm speaking very early on that everything goes wrong with this truck, so it's gonna be more than just a simple fix, but got the little shock boot for the rear. Just try to not get dripped on from water and stuff like that, but this guy right here, that's broken. And that's supposed to be broken. So this should hopefully not take very long at all. And if that goes good, I do have a new cabin air filter I do want to change on this truck, which we'll try to get to. I'm not sure if I'm gonna remove the differential drop because reasons. I do need to attempt to fix my jack because for a little while now it's been leaking a little bit of hydraulic oil, and especially when I lift large things like the truck, that was hydraulic oil. There's, I believe those stains were hydraulic oil. So it's got a little bit of a leak somewhere, so I went to AutoZone, got jack oil, which is basically hydraulic oil if you need it for yourself, which is probably just good to have around in your garage / shop. I'll link it down below with the Amazon link. Use that link, helps out. Helps me out, helps you out, helps everyone out. Let me try to figure out how to fix this jack first. It's probably just the seal somewhere. I do have some O-rings, hopefully those are good enough. Oh God. Okay. So let's try to find the source of this leak somewhere. Because when I was trying to take the truck back off of the stands, I would have to basically pump the entire thing. Probably not gonna do it since there's no weight on it, but I would only get like this much, maybe even less. It would only be about that much. So I wanna say we're most likely, well, we're low on hydraulic oil for sure. I just gotta find out where we refill that, one, and then two, where it's actually leaking from, if we could try to fix that seal somehow. You can actually see how much movement the handle takes before it goes up at this point. So it wasn't the weight, it's just so this jack was like one of the first things I bought when we got the new house in New York, and I had a garage to work on things because I wanted a decent jack. And I forget which video I watched. There was one of the videos, the guy tested a bunch of different jack stands, and he actually tested this like against like Snap-on and other stuff like that. And this one actually performed just as good, if not better than the Snap-on, if I remember correctly. So that sold me on it. It was like 200 bucks or something from Harbor Freight. Been working great. Have no complaints with it really until it started leaking, which it still works with it leaking, and I could just keep topping off the hydraulic oil and it will still continue working. But we're just gonna see if we could fix that thing, because when I bought this, it's most likely out of warranty at this point, so I'm not even gonna attempt that. I should probably look it up. I feel like it has like a 3-year warranty, and we're definitely over 3 years. 3 years. All right, let's just start moving this around, see if we can find it. It's probably leaking from like up over here somewhere because it looks a little greasy in that area. Very oily under here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pinpoint where it's coming from though. I feel like it's fitting to use Harbor Freight tools to fix a Harbor Freight tool. Alright, so we got it off, and there's our whole assembly right there. That's the plug we want to mess with. Now, if you remember how bad it was, all right, now that the jack is fixed, we're gonna leave it as is. I cleaned it all up so I could kind of try to pinpoint where the leak is coming from, because I can't tell where the leak is coming from with all the grease and dirt that was in there. We're just gonna use it a few times and then see if we can find where it's leaking from. Try to address that if it's even possible. So now let's get into the part of the video that I don't even need the jack for, but I just wanted to fix that. All right, so time for this damn shock boot assembly thing. So this is the part number right here. Don't quote me on it, but it should be the same left or right. Shouldn't matter. I'll leave this number down below. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll leave that down below. If not, I'll leave a link to it somewhere. I mean, you could also just go to your regular GM Chevy dealership and just order one. It's most likely going to be a special order, but my dealership was able to get it next day, which once again, no rush, but we get it fixed. At the dealership, this was 20 something bucks. And I've seen it online from like GM Parts Direct or one of those websites. It was $12 or $16. I forget how much it was, but then you got to tack on shipping. So, I mean, it probably evens out either way if you just get it from the dealer. And then if you're in a rush for it, you'll probably get it quicker from the dealer. So this is what we're looking at down here. I don't know how good of a view I'm going to be able to get for you, but that's supposed to go like that. I guess it's just really like a dust cover. It's not completely necessary, but it also helps from rocks kicking up and whatnot and smashing your shock shaft. We're gonna get this changed out. I think this was the Dayton Fab. I'll look back and put it on the screen to what shock skids these are. If you're interested in shock skids, I guess. I have no complaints about them. They're kind of all the same, in my opinion, but let's get this swapped out. Looks like we just gotta take this bolt out, and then it looks like an Allen key probably on both sides. Should just come right off, slide the new one in, done. We'll see how much trouble it gives me putting the shock back in, but you don't really have to jack the truck up for this because the weight of the truck is held up by the leaf springs, and the shock absorber is there for absorbing shock, so it's not holding the weight of the truck. This would definitely be easier by just jacking the truck up and taking the wheel off, but we're gonna struggle first. All right, because why would anything on this truck go nice and smooth at this point? So I'm under the assumption, I don't know if it's the case, but this is the only thing I can think of, is that this bolt right here, was seized into the metal sleeve in here, and it wouldn't go, because I put the wrench on it and I was trying to turn the bolt itself, and it would only turn like just a little bit, and I could see the bushing move. So that was annoying. WD-40 the crap out of it. Then I took my big impact gun, went forward and reverse a bunch of times. Then I took a hammer and just started smashing it, and eventually it worked its way through. Then I took this like little drift pin thing just to knock it the rest of the way through. Also took the shock skid off because I thought maybe that was stopping it from coming out. But no, I think it was just that it was rusted together. Now, let me go get an Allen key to remove this so we can replace this. Wow, that sucked. I actually have a trick for you guys if you have shock skids and it involves a washer. Well, you gotta cut it. Let me get this thing back together and then I'll explain everything of why I have that. All right, so I got this thing back together, and this is where it comes in play with that little washer thing that I made. It's kind of more of a spacer. So I believe my driver's side was a lot worse, but I just did it on both sides. With the shock skid, it doesn't allow the metal off of your axle, like your axle mount, to flex at all. It's the same thickness and boxed in underneath here, and it's stronger than the one coming off the axle. So it doesn't allow for any play at all, and the one on the axle allows for a little bit of play. And some of the problem I was having, like I said, it was worse on the driver's side. Let me get you better light here. I don't know if you can see the shock moving that much. So obviously that play is in the shock because there's a bushing there, but the other side didn't allow it to compress at all. So I was actually getting a clunking noise from the rear, and making this little spacer like this eliminated that. So if you have like a weird clunking noise after you install the shock skids, check that, see if it's moving and making a noise. Mine was definitely making a noise, and I came up with that idea to kind of take up the little gap in there. It probably could be a little thinner than this. This was a 1/2-inch washer. I think I might have actually grinded it down a little bit. I know I grinded the tips down a little bit to give it like a little bit of a start in there because it was that tight, but that fixed it for me. That's it, simple as that. I actually wound up putting some anti-seize on that whole bolt, so we don't have that problem again. I mean, I'm assuming we'll never have that problem again, but there's always a chance that could happen. So I put some anti-seize on it. If it happens on the driver's side, I'm probably gonna run into the same issue, but it is what it is. We'll just deal with it. It wasn't that bad. It was just kind of annoying doing it with the wheel on. That's why you saw I eventually just jacked the car up, took the wheel off, so I had some more space to work with. So I wasn't like laying on the floor and trying to like hold my head up and hurting my neck and whatnot, but yeah, whatever. So simple as that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just hanging out in the garage today, doing some small things on the truck. So far, so good on everything else. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Do my best to answer them. Hit that like button because I think it's supposed to help with the algorithm or something like that. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. If you want to help the channel out in any way, use the affiliate links down below. I'm gonna leave some Amazon links down below of stuff that I used today. If you need any of that stuff and maybe some other random stuff, if you want some LED lights, got the Oxedo link down below with some discount codes and whatnot. I will see you guys in the next one. Use those links, helps me out, helps you out, helps everybody out. Peace out.